Steady, are you ready? Can you feel it? Here it comes.
Welcome.
Halloween Carol.
Our story begins as we tune our radios to the annual Grimwood Halloween Special, 1939. It may sound like fun and games, but as we enter Act 2, our story reveals the nightmare behind this cursed town.
Hallows Eve is more than recounting ghost stories. It's also doorbells rung, candy counted, and singing Halloween carols with our friends, families, and chosen families.
So take my hand, away we'll ride, dressed up how we feel. When the autumn leaves abound, All Hallows magic can be found. Guided by the ones no longer seen when they're around. At sight of the sun, they bid you adieu. So let this Halloween go with you.
Amidst humankind's great library is a Halloween carol unique to no corner of existence and penned the moment life discovered itself. The following is a tale of humanity's desire for personal conquest to live beyond the grave. Through omniscient gaze, we join a family reunion of sorts. Chapters of generations in pleasant conversation, others glazed in vacant stares, some with pages unwritten, others with ink indelibly pressed. We break the silence with a melody from humanity's long-inherited standards collection, a haunting refrain transcending its lyrics through a thorough examination of the heart.
Every story weaves a common thread, or a Tory script, or crest. Some will teach or preach, or solely reach from the shelf to just impress. We are just the lifetime. Count it as malaise, but all the blessings I deal when nothing's left at all. A heart will just recall the way you made it feel. Seasons come and seasons go. Grow and take your chances. Flowers bloom, yet beauty fades. So mind the roots. They are your branches. Deeds extraordinaire, cloaked in proud regaling, wander unaware, with barren treasures they're grieving. Love's all we're leaving, living to compare one another's story. Leaves you little there. In love, true life is revealed. The prologue you perceive and epilogue you leave are yours to make them real. When nothing is left at all, the heart will just recall the way you made
Humanity's free will allows us to write our own stories, but try as we might, the last chapter is abiding and mandatory. As the sun sets on another reunion, palpable eye contact retreats to the shadows, and to the others becomes the overwhelming feeling of being watched, an unbearable hope for posthumous enlightenment to pierce the invisible barrier and heal wounds scattered across time and space. You see, these reunions of celebration and regret happen somewhere between the living and the dead. The story of the heart, a sentimental look at love and life, or a cautionary tale. Ultimately, it depends on which side of the table you sit. Tonight's story can only be honored by those living in service to the hearts of others. For a life in pursuit of deeds extraordinaire is destined to be forgotten to the boundless obscurity of infinity. For some, a lesson lived. Others, a lesson learned. Beyond a final breath, it finds one too late. This Halloween Carol.
a trick or two to show to you. It's hard to explain. Well, you just gotta see him. He's the kid with the bag, ringing your bell. Gee, ain't he swell? Swinging down the street, he's got the upper hand. You know he was tricking out his jam before the season began. Hey, Grimwood, you're the players. Trick or treat is the game. Yeah, he's gonna be slick. If you say the tricky trick-or-treater goes trick or treat. Trick or treat, shuffling down the street. When your doorbell is a ring-a-ding and something sweet, the shows are coming, hip, hip, hooray. The tricky trick-or-treater will move his feet to the beat. No, you can't compete. When the tricky trick-or-treater hears trick or treat, he's gonna rattle them bones away. Candy,
Fancy feet coming.
handy, that's his modus operandi. Headed for the big time.
Better be home by 9.
The tricky trick-or-treater says, have no fear, 'cause the time is near, the time to disappear. It's sad to see him go, but don't you shed a tear. He'll be back again next year. Trick or
Grimwood grieves on Hallows Eve, a changeling neath the lawn. Through your demise, the demon survives his coffin, now you're home. He'll sing his song inside your dream. It sounds like fun and games. Please, dear children, stay in your beds tonight when he calls your names. One whole year, that's the time it takes. Flesh to bone for one to take his place. Come on, done. We'll pray it wasn't you. Grimwood wakes, population 602. He calls your name inside your room. It's real and not pretend. Surely shadows on the wall and not a sunken grin. Your fate is sealed upon his gaze, and soon we'll say goodbye. For every day
10 years later, 2 new residents arrived in Grimwood. One a singer, the other an orchestra leader. They quickly noticed a nervous step in the stride of the residents. None of their neighbors could even recall much of the town's history. The night before Halloween, the newcomers arrived at the radio station to rehearse for the annual Halloween special. Plastered on the soundstage door, an orange flyer for the Grimwood Concerned Parent Society fluttered in the wind. A mere decade before, one would have never expected to already see these return. In 1939, the town's history is quite unique, and by its design, quickly forgotten. You see, all life began with rooftop fallen stardust. For all within the Grimwood gates, memories fade, and history is erased. And every time the cycle ends, it begins again and again and again.